Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea. It's nice to have you guys here. Today I'm going to do a bullet journal video. It's been a little while since I've shown you my bullet journal. I had thought about starting a new journal fresh for 2018, but that felt like a bit of a waste because I still have more than half of this journal left to fill and I didn't want to end up with a half-used notebook. But I decided to stay working in this bullet journal because I'd flipped back to the beginning and the first month that I had in it, and I had started it in September, which was pretty much still around the start of the school year, and I think I've got enough. Well, I know I've got enough because I went through September, October, November, December in this journal, and I've only got January, February, March, April, and the beginning of May left to the academic year. So I think I can get the whole academic year in this journal, and then I might switch to a new journal at that point, just so that my PhD is in the first 3 bullet journals and then whatever comes after starts in a new bullet journal. I had also briefly toyed with getting a fancy pre-printed journal. I'd looked at Inspired Life Diary, I'd looked at My Infinite Agenda, I'd looked at Ink and Volt, which I'd say if I weren't doing a bullet journal, those would probably be the 3 that I would really look at. But there were aspects of each that I liked and then aspects of each that felt kind of similar, and then there was still stuff that I felt like I would really miss from a bullet journal. There were also some journals and planners that I've seen at Target that looked really cool, but again, I felt like they were missing, all of them were missing that flexibility that the bullet journal gives me. So I did kind of cannibalize some aspects of these other planners. I was able to kind of flip through some of the previews of the pages, and there were just some things, especially in terms of planning the beginning of the year, that I thought were really nice. So I haven't done that much in my journal so far for January, but I'm going to show you the few things that I have done and kind of talk also about how I'm planning and approaching 2018 to try to keep the panic at bay and to just be a little bit more focused on how I'm going forward, if that makes sense. So I'm going to flip the camera around so that you can see my journal and walk you through what I've done so far. It's always a struggle because I don't have a fancy arm attachment that can go truly bird's eye. Okay, so this is how I've kind of separated 2018 from 2017. I've just kind of given it its own new landing page. December was very colorful and very Christmassy, and I was using a lot of the washi tape and stickers that I had picked up in London at kikki.K, as well as some of the new washi tapes that I got at Target. So that was kind of December. But then for January, I have started fresh with using my blush pink, it's number 772 in my bullet journal, as well as a lot of the rose gold stickers from some of the sticker packs that I've picked up at Target. I was using this one a lot. I've started off with 2018, the future is waiting, start now, and my quote at the moment as I'm getting through my dissertation is, "It always seems impossible until it is done." That is definitely how I feel about my dissertation. Okay, I've blanked out some of this because some of it I want to keep private, but I thought in case some of you wanted to do similar kind of self-development in your bullet journal, you might want to see some of the things that I've been doing generally, if not specifically. So on this side, I've got a running list of hopes, dreams, and wishes for 2018. Bit of artistic stuff got a bit messy. And I also have this note on one of my Ted Baker sticky notes. I saw this quote on an art print, and I still might order the actual art print because I do like it. It'd be nice to hang it up at my desk. But it was, but what if it all goes right? And I am definitely someone that tends to worst case and catastrophize everything and constantly think of, but what if it all goes wrong? So I kind of like having this to just remind me to stop and think about, yeah, but what if it all goes right? And so that's my little reminder there. And then I also have 3 questions that I got. I think this was from the Ink and Volt planner. What do you want to leave behind in 2017? What are the things you want to learn this year? Books you want to read? How will you improve yourself in the year ahead? And then what would it look like if this year went perfectly? What would you have be do? And I thought that was also kind of going along with this, and something I'm really trying to incorporate a lot of thinking positively, visualizing positively, just imagining things going really well. On this page, one of the journals also talked about creating a theme for the year. I still haven't figured out what my theme for 2018 is. Obviously, graduating is one of my tasks and one of my goals, but that's going to be done in May. So in terms of a theme for the whole year, I'm still working on that. And it's not something that I wanted to just quickly jot something down. I really do want to think about it. And then my goals for this year. So this list is wildest dreams. Just if I could make anything that I wanted to happen, trips that I would love to take, people that I would like to meet, things I would like to accomplish that realistically may not happen this year, but by thinking positively about them might set me up by the end of the year to make them realities for 2019. So these are kind of long-term, lots of wishful thinking types of hopes and dreams, whereas this is more practical goals and actual things that I want to accomplish this year. So obviously graduating is one of them. But then other similar things like that, getting a job, are also on there. And then things and thoughts to remember. So this is also kind of personal, but I'm going to kind of put myself out there a little bit and share them with you because they might be things that would help you as well. So just remembering the thought of you are more than enough. I think a lot of us struggle with not feeling like we're pretty enough, smart enough, good enough in general. We're just always struggling to feel like we are enough. And I'm trying to remind myself that no matter what qualities I think I have or don't have, I am already, as I am, more than enough, as are all of you. Believe in yourself and your dreams. Another thing that I've been struggling with is emotions and depression. It's kind of kicking my ass again a bit. So I'm trying to remind myself to feel what I feel and not to hide from my emotions, not to bury them, not to distract myself from them, but to feel what I feel in the moment, let myself have that emotion, and then once that wave has crashed, move on. But not to move on without feeling things first. So that's important. I'm still kind of filling in the rest of this with other hopeful and important thoughts. One thing that's helping me, and I need to put some of them in here, is this adorable book that my friend Tamsin gave me when I was in London. I've been keeping a little tab in here, and every day I flip to a new page, so I'm kind of slowly, day by day, working my way through the book. But I think some of these little quotes are good to put in here, especially nothing is impossible. So that probably needs to go in here. I'm kind of leaving this as just to collect stuff over the next probably couple weeks. And then we get into January. I've got the month planned out. I've got my quote here again. It always seems impossible until it is done. I think every month I'm going to have a kind of quote for that month. So this is the month that I have set to finish drafting my dissertation. So it's down here as the goal for the month, finish this draft. Usually I give myself 3 goals for the month. I'm just doing the one because it's the most important one. I've got task list, monthly faves for when I start filming those videos again, and then a memory section at the bottom. And then so far for the month, I've really just got in standing appointments. I'm not putting in like little task lists or stuff like that. I do need to put in some deadlines here for some other academic projects that I'm working on. But for the most part, in terms of appointments and plans, I'm trying to keep January as light as possible. So it's really things like physical therapy, emotional therapy, my regular lunch and shopping date with my mom and my sister at the end of each week, that sort of thing. And then we get into the first week of January. This was something that I borrowed from, I think this was from the Inspired Life Diary. I can't remember. I saw this plan or this layout and I kind of liked the way it looked, and then as soon as I got it drawn out, realized, oh, it didn't have a to-do list. It had to do for each day, but not a master to do for the week, and I really missed that. So I tapped that in on a sticky note and then just kind of moved this from one side to the other. But what I did like was having the space to kind of plan the day, but then a to-do list for the day. And I liked that it wanted you to do a top priority for each day. That was really useful. And I kind of liked the side by side, but I don't think I'm going to stick with that for this coming week. I also added in a space to do the word word count and track my Pomodoros. And then at the bottom underneath the weekend, there was a space for reflection, which I'm really bad at, but I am going to try to do that this week. And then Saturday and Sunday was kind of broken up into just 2 smaller boxes. I did like this. It did work other than the to-do list. I think I could have drawn this in differently to incorporate that. So, and it was kind of interesting to switch from a format like this, which had been one of the main formats that I used throughout the last few months. If you flip through most of the bullet journal, you'll see that this is kind of the main way that I've planned my weeks. So this was the first time in a while that I've really, other than a couple light weeks in December where I'd kind of done this format, this was a big departure for me. But I did kind of like it. So I think when I plan this week, I am going to plan that a little bit differently. Not to look like this, but not to look exactly like this either. And then another big thing that I've been doing in January, just for this first week so far, is a 30-day writing challenge. So I'm really desperate to get my dissertation completely drafted by the end of this month, if not sooner. So I set out a goal. The first was a planning day, so it's technically 30 days is the 2nd through the 31st, at the very bottom here. I've got the date with the day of the week, the goal for the day, the total for the day, and then the running updated challenge total. So I've been doing this for 5 days so far. Today will be the 6th day. I am going to do some writing when I get back from running my errands. And my goal is to write 1,000 words a day, Monday through Friday. And then on the weekend, 300 words, Saturday and Sunday. Yesterday, I did way over that. So I am definitely ahead. So when I'm done writing today, I'll put in whatever I do for today, and then I'll do the first progress check. So every Sunday I do a progress check, and then the challenge ends a few days after the 4th one. If I stick to the minimum goal, I will do at least 24,400 words. If I go over the goal, I could do more than that. But even if I just do this, I should technically meet my estimated word goal for the whole dissertation. So this should be enough to finish the dissertation if I can stick to this goal. So each of the progress checks, I've got a little note of what I should be at by that date. So I'll be able to put in what the number actually is and then put if I am on target or not. Obviously, for this first one, even if I don't do any writing today, I will still be ahead of the 4,600 words because I'm currently at 7,622. But I'd like to stay well ahead of target, and I'm really close to finishing the current chapter that I'm working on. And then the challenge aims are to write something every day. If I go over, great. If I fall behind, catch up. So that's just to let me know there's no guilt involved. If I fall behind, fine, but I just catch up. And if I go over, I don't rest on that and take a day off. I keep going. And then the third thing is no judgment. Write now, edit later. So I'm well aware that everything I'm writing right now is not going to be the final thing that I'm left with. Everything that I'm writing is going to go through a massive amount of changes, but I will edit that later. I'm just trying to get things written. And then when I'm done, I've got my goal is 24,400, and I can put the result in there and see how close I get. Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I've never really done a 30-day challenge for anything in my bullet journal or just in general, so I'm really curious about that. Now I'm going to quickly draft out this week, and I will do a time lapse so you can watch that, and then we'll wrap this video up. Okay, so I'm going to fill things in terms of my schedule and whatnot later today when I get home. I kind of like to do that at the end of Sunday because I'm still filling in this. I'm still kind of working through my task list. So I'm still kind of working today. Tonight, I'll sit down with like some hot chocolate or something and end last week and start this week. I've also been working on my productivity planner again, just to be extra productive if possible. So I need to finish this out and stuff. So I like to do my planning either Sunday night or early Monday morning. So I will fill in like all of my appointments and stuff later. But just so you can see how I've basically set things up, I started using my 2 new Tombow pens. So I've got 620, which I think is lilac or something like that, and then 850, which is flesh. Really liking both of these. It's going to be a nice addition to my collection. So I've got the week across the top. So Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday get small boxes on the side. The week is broken up into AM and PM, so I can kind of track my appointments and see visually the time in the day, if my mornings are free, if my afternoons are free, but it's not as structured as like that, where this was 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Unless I was having a lot of appointments, this can end up wasting a lot of space. So I think until my schedule picks back up, right now my schedule is really flexible. There's not a lot written in stone. So I've got my daily to-dos, whereas before this also only had 3 kind of tasks for the day, like my top goals for the day. Now I've got more space. I've got a priority, because I did like that from this week, having a 1 top priority for the day. And that's also how the productivity planner works. So I've got my top priority for the day, but then I've got space to put in other little notes and space to kind of overly ambitious plan a to-do list and then just migrate things. We'll see how that goes. I've put all of my work time into its own box again. I've done this in the past. So Monday through Sunday, I can put in my word count and I can track my Pomodoros. I give myself 6 for the work week. So that's 3 hours, 6 25-minute sessions. I tend to not be able to work in a focused capacity for more than 3 hours total. So I usually use these for tracking my writing time. I usually cannot write for more than 3 hours. Plus there's also reading and other stuff that I have to do. So this just ensures that I'm writing for the amount of time that I want to write for. And I don't do it for more than 2 hours on the weekend. Tracking my activity and steps. So I want to start increasing my steps again the way that I was doing before I went to London. I've put in some motivational stickers, work in progress, focus on today, because I'm really honestly trying this year to focus on the present moment. I'll talk about that in a minute. Take note is underneath my note section. So anything to note for things to do next week or things that are just popping up that I need to be aware of. And then my task list. And then so much can happen in a week. A lot happened this last week. Getting 7,000 words, almost 8,000 words, and I haven't even written today. So I will definitely hit 8,000 words in 1 week is probably the best I have ever done. So gonna try to keep that going. Okay, so now this video has gotten very long. I'm gonna talk and make it longer. No, I will try to keep this short, but I did want to just kind of reiterate what I was saying about focusing on today and focusing on the present moment, because I think some of this might help some of you as well, because I know I'm not the only one here in this little community of ours that struggles with anxiety, struggles with depression, and struggles with that general sense of overwhelm. A lot of you, even if you're not grad students, you're undergraduates, you're working moms, you all have busy lives. And I think it's very possible and very easy for us to get ahead of ourselves and focus on everything else that's coming up down the road, as well as waste a lot of time dwelling on things that have already happened. I am definitely guilty of that. I will rehash things over and over and over again in my head, and the moment is long past and it's done and it's over and I can't change it. So thinking about it too much, beyond what might help me if it arises again in the future, really isn't that productive. So one thing that I'm really trying to do this year is to leave the past in the past, learn from the mistakes or the successes, because you can learn from both, but then leave the past in the past and not get anxious about the future. That's a little bit harder done than said, but I'm working on it. So I'm really trying to stay focused on the present moment, whether that is this minute, this hour, this day, this week. It can all be kind of in there, but I really don't try to think about anything beyond this week. So I am really only focusing on everything up to Sunday the 14th. I am aware of things beyond the 14th. I am aware that spring convocation, the big faculty meeting, is on the 19th. I'm aware that my PhD timeline is due on the 15th. So I am aware of things, but I'm not thinking about them, and I'm not agonizing or getting anxious about them. I really am trying to just stay focused on the here and now. The more anxious or the busier a certain week is, the more narrow that present moment will become. So right now I'm able to kind of think about the whole week, but sometimes I really do have to limit myself. Okay, just today. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about the next day. Just think about today and get through today. And if one day is particularly overwhelming, just think about this hour. Just think about, if it's the morning, just think about the morning. The afternoon will happen in a few hours. So however narrow you have to make that present moment be is up to you and up to the moment. That's just something that I have started to do. I still need to read Eckhart Tolle's, what is the book? It's about being in the present. Not The Time Is Now. The Power of Now? I think it's The Power of Now. I'll put it on the screen. It's on my Kindle. I just haven't read it yet. I downloaded it to my Kindle like 3 years ago and then never read it. So, oops. So that's on the reading list. Anyway, that is how my bullet journal is set up for the moment, and that is kind of my main mental approach towards 2018. I hope some of this helps some of you, because I know I'm not the only one who is struggling just a little bit to get back into a routine and managing everything that life is throwing at us at the moment. Leave me your comments in the comment section below. I really love talking to you guys. Thank you for all of your support and understanding in the catch-up video. I knew you guys were going to respond the way that you did. You all are amazing and I love you. So definitely say hi in the comments and we can chat a bit this week. I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.